Hey everybody, welcome back. So I got this compressor from somebody that didn't want it because it was having problems with piston jumping off the cam here. So I'm going to show you what's happening and then we're going to try to fix it. This model is D55168 and it's made by DeWalt. So yeah, so if you have something like this, I'm going to try to show you an easy way to fix it. Oh, let me bring you back over here and show you what's happening here. What's happening is this piece jumps off of here, comes off completely, and then it doesn't produce any air. It stops pumping. So, and it comes completely off. I put it back on, and the compressor itself is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's almost brand new. But yeah, the piston arm just keeps coming off of here. So let's see how we can fix that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this thing off. What I think is happening, I think DeWalt must have put Loctite on this, and with time this gets a little warm in here, so the Loctite comes off. I was gonna put Loctite back in here, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna take the bolt off, make a washer that holds this arm back in its place. So let's take it off and see what happens. Before we take the bolt off, with a little mallet, I'm going to set this back where it's supposed to go. So just going to hit it. Now it's set exactly where it needs to be, which is flush. There it is. It's nice and flush. So now let's try to take that nut off. I mean, this bolt off. Hey, so for this operation, we're going to use this little guy. I just got this yesterday. I'm going to do a little review on it after I use it a little bit. So, but so far it's nice, very nice. Okay, so let's see how good this thing takes this off. Beautiful. For this, we're going to measure where the bolt sits. It has to stick out just a little bit so that it doesn't rub on here, because this bearing, they both move. They move. This moves, and this moves on its own axis. So we have to measure this. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller than it is. So this is 26 millimeters, which is 1 inch. 1 inch, 110 thousandths. So I'm just going to make it a little smaller than that. I'm going to make it 1 inch. 1 inch is 26 millimeters. So I'm gonna make this the inside circle 1 inch, and the outside circle is gonna be 54 millimeters, 2 inches. So I'm gonna make it 2 inches round. 2 inches, and then the inside is going to stick out a little bit, but I'll show you on the lathe. I just spent like a half hour trying to find the material. I found this little piece of plate. We're going to cut a hole in it. This is 2 inches, so we're going to cut a hole in it, and then I'll put it on the lathe and cut a center hole, make a little relief so that this will sit on the inside of the bearing. We're going to take this out first. Kind of a tough making these videos because you can't really find anything. And by the time you find something, it takes you like a half hour to dig it out. But anyways. Okay. So we tighten the chuck. Wow. Let me see if I can find the adapter. Like I said, I'm a little cramped in here, but anyways, I found it. So this is a pretty nice device. It's a quick disconnect for a hole saw. It's made by DeWalt. Pretty nice. I don't know if this is Milwaukee or what. It might be a Milwaukee part. That's the name, but it might be made by Milwaukee. I'm not sure. But it's pretty good. It's really good, actually. I gotta bring the table down just a little bit more. Gotta bring down the table a lot more. Wow, you should see how cramped I am in here. Watch this. Look at this. But we'll make do, right? With whatever we got. So gotta make sure this is tight because it makes a lot of noise. And then on top of it, it vibrates quite a bit because this is a big one. So we're gonna center this right there. We need some oil. I don't know why I keep buying tools. I need to wait to buy any more stuff till the shop is here. But when the opportunity is there, then you buy them, I guess. So, all right, let me get some of that oil over there. By the way, this is a 3-phase machine. We have a converter because this is in a residential house. So. All right, so it's not very tight. Lots of oil so that you don't ruin the bits. And it takes time, so you have to go slow. Especially this big thing we're trying to cut here. Alright, so we just went through. So now we just have to like I said, lots of noise. And we can feed this on automatic. I'm gonna have to go slower than that. before I continue to cut the whole thing out, maybe, because it's going to be a pain to put it on the lathe, so I think I'm just going to poke the center hole first. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to poke the center hole. That way we don't have to cut a hole in on the lathe. So I'm almost through, but I think I can do the center hole without so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this thing out. Oh no, don't drop. Because if it drops back there, it's going to be a chore to get it. Alright, so we'll save that for a second. Let me go get a bit, because I think this one is way too big. Okay, so now, there we go. End mill. Okay, so now that's better. So now we can go ahead and finish cutting it through. Now I don't need to mess around. This will go right in there, and I don't have to do anything on the lathe. So I'm going to take this off. If you go slow, you won't strip this. You know, if you put it on the chuck, you just don't want any lines. And plus, you saw how this thing is moving around on this thing. It's moving around, so it's not a very precise hole. But all we want, it's a hole. It doesn't have to be precise. So now, we'll put this guy back in here and finish our, finish what we started. By the way, I found that with these things, I see a lot of people using them, and they put like a really fast speed to cut through that thing. It seems to me that if you, the faster you make it, the worse it is for the machine, for the cutter. It breaks the teeth. It's terrible. So I think slow is the best way, and going the right way, and going the right direction. That way. All right. And there it is. Is it hot? Yep, it's hot. Okay. So now we got ourselves a 1/4-inch donut. So with a nice hole in the center for our bolt. So now all we got to do is put it on the lathe and make a relief so that this will ride in that the center of the bearing, not on the outside of the bearing. So because we don't want any friction. So we're going to take this down maybe, 100,000, maybe 50,000, something like that. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll be all done with the part.